Welcome to the Active Trader Setups Education Series. This video will be covering rolling over futures contracts. This is a must-do procedure to maintain our workspace and chart functionality. Our futures charts incorporate multi-data series and multiple symbols, so they have to be loaded through the rollover procedure. You can't manually enter a new symbol on a futures contract. In some cases, you're going to mess up how the chart actually functions because you won't be changing both symbols at the same time as they're different symbols. One might be a micro symbol and the other would be the actual symbol of the main contracts. First thing we want to do is go to tradermembers.com, into your tool area. Got to log in first. Go to Trader Tools and Information, where you've been going when you've been installing the package in the past. And there's a link at the top of the page and directions about how to do this, as well as at the bottom of the page, if you were running through the installation process of the package. The last thing we told you in the last video was you had to follow this procedure first. So it gives you an outline of what to do and also a link to this video. The first thing you want to do is to update your futures rollover is to click on this link, and it will take you to the rolling futures contracts and give you a little outline here of what you're going to be doing. The steps to open your tools menu in the control center, followed by database management. So the next step is we want to open our NinjaTrader platform and allow a connection to your data source to completely load in all the data on all the charts that are in your workspace. Then for your additional workspaces that you want to roll over the contracts as well, you must open those one at a time and allow each workspace individually to load all the charts data inside that workspace. Once you have all the workspaces open that you want to update, you're going to follow the rollover instructions from the help guide, as well as the ATS rollover video that you're watching now, link at the bottom of the page. Also, when you finish this process, each space that you have open, you have to let the new symbols load the historical data completely in each chart, which can take a few minutes because you're loading historical tick data. Then you must save each workspace before you close them for them to retain the new symbols you have rolled into those charts and workspaces. So now we have our NinjaTrader workspace open. We are connected to our data source, and I'm going to open an additional workspace for my features as well that I want to update at the same time. And we continue to load, and you can see this is not populated, this chart in the center. Some of the others have already. We want to allow them to completely load, and I'm doing this during session hours. So the futures are trading right now as we speak, and they have rolled over from the period that's saved in the workspaces. I want to also take this opportunity to remind you some of our other videos we talk about this. We use red in the futures. There's links between the chart symbols, and you don't want to have your stocks loading red because they're going to really mess these charts up if you have stock, if you're looking at stock charts as well as futures workspaces during the day, and you have those stock charts in other workspaces and you have them tied to red, you're going to end up loading your stock symbols back here on your futures charts. One of the key things in our futures charts is the data, of course, is not the same as regular hours on our stock charts. And this is the main chart. This is the reason that the futures has to be loaded separately and this rollover, because we have the micro on the chart, we have the ES on the chart, and there's many other charts that we have. This has RTY and the RTY in 120 minute and a tick chart as well. So we want to do the rollover procedure so that all these data series that are connected to these charts are populated correctly with the new expiration. And then we do not have our MES red linked. Each of the micros, since we have them on charts with the main contract behind them, we don't want those to ever get changed, because if you type your symbol in to change this, it will, if you type on this chart to change the symbol, you're going to mess up all this data that's plotting the lines and so forth. So they have to be maintained separately there. Now the other charts that are linked in red, like the RTY, you can just load a new symbol by going to the symbol list. It loads all those other charts, and you can see them start to load here now. So I'm going to let that load, and then we're going to go back to my other workspace after that completes, and then we're going to do the rollover procedure in the video. Okay, now I have charts in this particular workspace that are off the screen of the video. The first thing we're going to see in our rollover contracts directions is we're going to select tools within the control center, followed by database management, which is here, and it may be right here to database management, and it's going to pop up the database box that you see in your directions about rolling over the futures contracts. It populates the instruments, which is the old ones that we have on our charts, and I go down and I click futures expiries as well. Once you do that, this is loaded up, and you select what you want to update, which should be, there's no reason not to update everything in my opinion. And click rollover, and then allow. It gives you this warning: we're going to allow all this to take place. Yes, we wish to continue. We're going to allow this process to totally complete. It's going to change the symbols on these charts to the new 9/19 expiration, or whatever the current is at the time you're doing your update. And it's also going to change these charts we were looking at with these micros. They will change the symbols, including the micro symbols that are now hidden behind the box. So we're going to allow that to process and just pause the recording while this process is taking place. You can now see a little bit of this process changing. The ES has changed to 9/19. NQ is still on 6/19, so it hadn't got changed yet. And then some of the others are still in the process down here in the database, in the data watch list in the market analyzer. They haven't changed yet. And of course, we still have our little blue circle in this box. When this procedure gets finished, this box won't be doing this anymore. Okay, this process took about 5 or 6 minutes, depending on your connection speed. It may take a little longer or less, probably not less. And you're going to close this box out now. And our charts have loaded the new 9/19 series, which could be different depending on when you're doing your update. And you can see now we have our micro symbol updated as well as our ES symbol, and you couldn't do that by typing the symbols on this chart. And then we also, behind these areas, we have some other micros that are different symbols. Some of these are actually still loading the charts as we speak. You can see this chart just changed, and now the chart looks entirely different because it's loaded. It's got a different cloud. This is actually live data right now on this chart at the time of this recording, and you can see our micro chart here as well. These two double lines are where the new session started on a Sunday night, and this was this is a daily VPOC chart. So this was the VPOC on a ES symbol, not the MES, on the ES, not from the last session, but from 2 sessions prior. This was the VPOC from the last session. This was 2 sessions prior. And then we have the NQ on a separate chart. You can see it open pretty much on the session POC from the last session. You see your dotted line dividing the 2 sessions, and it probably gapped up here. Well, it was 1804, so it actually opened here. This was 1801, 11, 12 seconds, and then from about right here, that's 1802 came in. Excuse me, right in here. So gave a pretty quick run up off the open the first 2 or 3 minutes, slight pullback, and then started going up, and you can see the wicks in the candle. So it's chopping along a little bit. This is just a 6-tick candle. So it's only 3 ticks in a candle, so it's half of the setting. So that's less than a point on each one of those candles. And then we have the now that was the session POC. I'm sorry. This is the daily POC chart. It's labeled at the bottom. Each one is on a session POC and on a daily POC. So these don't load. They stay individual in the M2K and the MES and so forth. The other charts you can load just by clicking your symbols, and it'll load these charts. So we've completed our rollover process, and now we have to save our workspaces. I will go ahead and load each of my symbols that are loading in the other charts that are not connected to the micros, and I would load those symbols, let them load completely, and once I finish that process, then I would go ahead and save my workspace. Right up here, you go down to your workspace and you save it, and you want to save the other ones that's maybe not even in view. We got this other workspace open we were looking at earlier. We want to save it as well. It's going to have the new symbols in it as well. I switched over to the other workspace so you can see that it updated as well. So all your workspaces that you had open during this procedure are going to update. Now, if you had others that you did not update, like I didn't have all of mine open, they're not updated. So you have to go through the process of updating those as well if you want them all to be updated. But the main thing is to update what you are using. These other workspaces, any point in time you decide to open them and start investigating using those, you will need to run a rollover procedure again. This video is brought to you by Active Trader's Setups Trading Package, a Day Trader Setups LLP company. We'd like to invite you over to our website if you're new to trading, ActiveTraderSetups.com. You can view features. You can go to youtube.daytradersetups.com where you're now watching this video. Subscribe to our channel and keep up with all our latest videos that we put out on training and using our products, as well as check out the features here on daytradersetups.com. And also we have another website called Trader Members. We showed part of that in this video. It's tradermembers.com. You can go to that website and the tool menu won't show up for you. That's for logged in members, but you can go to our products section and find detailed videos, some of the same that are on the first site, but this is a reference area for our traders to review every chart template we have, and it gives a breakdown of how the chart is built, how they can rebuild it, how they can repair it, and a short video on each and every chart is here on the products page at tradermembers.com. Some of these videos can be linked off the main site, and then others are just dedicated on this site. But you're welcome. This is open to the public. You can go over to this page on tradermembers.com, the products page, and you can see all the different templates we have. You can learn about how we set up these charts, what their intentions are as a tool for the traders. And then there's another page just dedicated to the futures charts. And if you're new to trading, futures can be a very dangerous machine, but with the new micro contracts, you have an opportunity to learn how to trade in the futures markets, as well as maintain a low margin requirement with NinjaTrader. They have a brokerage account that you can open up with a very small amount of money to trade the futures contracts and a very low margin requirement. So that opens up a door to a lot of new traders. I know a lot of new traders are out looking for opportunities and learning opportunities to hone their trading skills. This is one of our favorite charts to trade from. It's my very favorite. I trade stocks off this chart. I run off the day cloud. We have inflection charting on our stocks, and I like to trade those inflections. I like to use my cloud and use my bar chart trader to enter the trades. And then we have a link down at the bottom of this page that takes you over to the futures page. This is our bar chart trader that you can customize to automatically reverse a trade as it's going up. If you say, I want to go short, when it reverses, you can go short trail, and it will follow the candles up. When they roll over, it'll take you short into the trade automatically. You can have set it for stops, trailing stops. It can scale out. It's quite a tool, and it's taken about 4 months to develop it and test it and so forth. And it is a really awesome trade management product that we have as part of our trading package, as well as our other charts, our inflection point charting. And then on the futures, we do the VPOC for you, and you can scan for that. You don't do any good to see areas that you want to trade. Here's a futures chart with the daily VPOCs plotted on it. Don't do you any good to see these areas to trade if you can't scan for them. We have scanners tied to each one of these indicators, and you can go in and scan for those setups or get alerts off of them either way, and then enter your trades accordingly. Thanks for watching our video. Go over to our site, activetradersetups.com, and learn more about our products.